Imagine a time when Hollywood dared to confront its own history. John Ford, the master of the American West, finally tackles the story he once rejected, thanks to Richard Widmark's relentless passion. Cheyenne Autumn isn't just a film, it's a journey back to 1T78, when Little Wolf led his people off the reservation, defying the U.S. cavalry to reclaim their homeland. But here's the twist. The Cheyenne you see on screen, they're Navajo, speaking their own language, their voices echoing a truth Ford couldn't ignore. This isn't just a Western, it's a testament to resilience, a rare moment when the camera turns to those history forgot. And it all started with a Yale research project and a director who changed his mind. There's something timeless about revisiting a film like Cheyenne Autumn, John Ford's 1964 epic that dares to confront the complexities of America's past. It's a story born of persistence. Richard Widmark, years earlier, had delved into the historical research at Yale, bringing the material to Ford, who initially dismissed it. Yet Ford held onto that research, and years later, he returned to Widmark, asking him to star in a film that would challenge Hollywood's traditional portrayal of the West. At its heart, Cheyenne Autumn is inspired by the true story of Little Wolf, a Cheyenne chief who, in 1878, led his people off their Oklahoma reservation and back to their ancestral lands in Montana, defying the U.S. cavalry at every turn. This journey, known as the Cheyenne Autumn Trail, becomes the backbone of the film, a tale of resilience and dignity in the face of broken promises. Ford's direction is both sweeping and intimate, capturing the vastness of the landscape and the quiet determination of the Cheyenne, played here by Navajo actors speaking their own language. It's a film that feels both of its time and ahead of it, a reminder of the power of cinema to revisit history with empathy and respect. As we dive into this review, we'll explore why Cheyenne Autumn remains a poignant and often overlooked gem in Ford's filmography, and how its themes still resonate today in the vast expanse of the American West. Cheyenne Autumn unfolds as a poignant tale of resilience and the unyielding spirit of a people. It's 1878, and the Cheyenne, weary of broken promises from the U.S. government, embark on a journey back to their ancestral lands in the north. This is no ordinary trek. It's a defiant act of survival, a refusal to be confined to the barren reservation where they've been forced to live. The film opens with a sense of quiet determination as the Cheyenne, led by their chiefs, set out across the rugged terrain. Their faces, weathered yet resolute, tell a story of generations of struggle and hope. Meanwhile, in Washington, the government, fearing an uprising, orders the cavalry to intercept them. Enter Captain Thomas Archer, played by Richard Widmark, a man torn between duty and compassion. Widmark's portrayal is nuanced. His character, a sympathetic figure who understands the injustice the Cheyenne face. It's a role he fought to bring to life, having first brought the historical research to John Ford years earlier, only to see the director initially reject it. Ford, the master of the Western, eventually reconsidered, and the result is a film that feels both personal and profound. The first act is a masterclass in setup, balancing the Cheyenne's journey with the political machinations in Washington. We see the Cheyenne sharing stories and laughter, their conversations in Navajo, a detail that adds authenticity, even if the actors are Navajo rather than Cheyenne. There's a scene where they gather around a campfire, their voices blending with the crackling flames, and for a moment the weight of their struggle feels almost bearable. But the tension builds as Archer and his troops close in, their presence a constant reminder of the forces arrayed against the Cheyenne. Ford's cinematography captures the vastness of the landscape, making the Cheyenne's journey feel both epic and intimate. It's a film that doesn't shy away from the complexities of its subject matter, and the first act sets the stage for a story that is as much about humanity as it is about history. Diving into the production of Cheyenne Autumn feels like uncovering a treasure trove of cinematic history, a testament to John Ford's enduring legacy and the film's place in Hollywood's golden era. It's a story that began years before the cameras rolled, when Richard Widmark, driven by a passion for historical accuracy, had the subject matter meticulously researched at Yale. He brought this wealth of material to Ford, who initially declined. Yet, time has a way of changing minds, and Ford, holding on to Widmark's research, eventually returned to the project, asking Widmark to star. This persistence echoes the resilience of the Cheyenne themselves, whose journey the film so poignantly portrays. Speaking of the Cheyenne, it's fascinating to note that the Cheyenne we see on screen are actually Navajo, speaking their own language, often sharing jokes and stories that add a layer of authenticity, even if they're not always what you'd expect. This attention to detail, though subtle, speaks volumes about Ford's commitment to honoring the culture he was depicting. One of the most striking aspects of the film is its basis in real history. The Cheyenne Autumn Trail of 1878, led by Chief Little Wolf and another chief, saw the Cheyenne defy hundreds of U.S. cavalry troops to return to their Montana homeland. This defiance is mirrored in scenes like the tense standoff between the Cheyenne and the cavalry, where the weight of history hangs heavy in every frame. Ford's decision to cast Sal Mineo, despite his Bronx accent, adds another layer of intrigue. Mineo's character speaks only Cheyenne in the film, a choice that not only sidesteps the accent issue, but also immerses the audience in the world of the Cheyenne. It's a small detail, but it's these choices that make Cheyenne Autumn feel so alive, so real. The film's production also became a crossroads for cinematic talent. When Peter Bogdanovich visited the set to interview Ford, he met Nancy Shue, who played Little Bird. This encounter led to Shue's role in Bogdanovich's debut film, Targets. And it was on this very set that Sal Mineo recommended Larry McMurtry's The Last Picture Show to Bogdanovich, a book that would later become Bogdanovich's second film, featuring Ben Johnson, who also appears in Cheyenne Autumn. It's these behind-the-scenes connections that remind us of the interconnectedness of Hollywood's golden age, where one film could spark the creation of another, and where legends like Ford and Bogdanovich shared the same space, if only briefly. Revisiting Cheyenne Autumn today, it's impossible not to feel a sense of nostalgia for a time when filmmakers like Ford poured their hearts into every frame, when stories of resilience and history were told with such care and respect. It's a film that not only captures a moment in time, but also the spirit of those who made it, leaving us with a legacy that continues to inspire. In the golden hues of Cheyenne Autumn, John Ford's masterful direction is matched only by the stellar performances that bring this epic tale to life. Richard Widmark as Captain Thomas Archer embodies a man torn between duty and conscience. His portrayal of a cavalry officer tasked with returning the Cheyenne to their reservation is both nuanced and deeply human. Widmark's ability to convey Archer's internal struggle, particularly in the scenes where he grapples with the moral implications of his orders, is a testament to his skill. There's a quiet dignity in his performance, a sense of a man trying to do right in a world that seems determined to do wrong. It's no wonder Ford chose him for the role, as Widmark's ability to balance strength with vulnerability adds layers to the character that resonate long after the credits roll. Then there's James Stewart, whose cameo as Wyatt Earp is nothing short of cinematic magic. Ford, ever the storyteller, added this segment not just for narrative depth, but as a clever intermission, knowing audiences might need a break during the film's lengthy runtime. Stewart's Earp is a charming, almost whimsical presence, a brief but memorable detour that feels like a gift to the viewer. Ford later joked that Stewart was the best intermission in the movies, and it's hard to argue with that. The Cheyenne themselves, portrayed with dignity and strength, are the heart of the film. Ford's commitment to their story is evident in every frame, a stark contrast to the stereotypical portrayals of Native Americans in many westerns of the time. In a 1966 interview, Ford candidly admitted his motivation for making the film, acknowledging the historical injustices inflicted upon Native Americans. This honesty, rare in Hollywood at the time, adds a layer of authenticity to the performances and the film's overall message. Cheyenne Autumn is more than a Western. It's a reflection, a reckoning, and a tribute to a people's resilience. The performances, from Widmark's conflicted officer to Stewart's charismatic Earp, are a reminder of the power of cinema to tell stories that matter. It's a film that lingers, not just in its sweeping landscapes or dramatic tension, but in the quiet moments of humanity that its actors bring to life. In the vast tapestry of cinematic history, Cheyenne Autumn stands as a testament to John Ford's unparalleled ability to weave together the grandeur of the American West with a profound sense of humanity. Released in 1964, this film is a visual and emotional masterpiece, capturing the essence of a bygone era with a nostalgic appreciation that resonates deeply. The cinematography, helmed by William H. Clothier, is nothing short of breathtaking. The sweeping vistas of the Western landscape are not just a backdrop, but a character in their own right, evoking a sense of both beauty and isolation. The iconic scene where the Cheyenne tribe marches across the arid plains, their determination mirrored in the unforgiving terrain, is a moment of cinematic perfection. The use of natural light and the golden hour glow imbue the film with a timeless quality, as if we're witnessing history through the lens of memory. The score, composed by Alex North, complements the visuals with a haunting melody that tugs at the heartstrings. It's a score that doesn't overpower, but instead enhances the emotional depth of the narrative, particularly in the quieter, more introspective moments. The dialogue, sharp and poignant, reflects the complexities of the characters and their struggles. Richard Widmark's Captain Thomas Archer delivers lines with a gravitas that underscores his internal conflict, while the Cheyenne leader's speeches are delivered with a dignity that commands respect. One cannot discuss Cheyenne Autumn without mentioning the accompanying documentary, Cheyenne Autumn Trail, narrated by James Stewart. This 18-minute gem, included in the DVD release, offers a behind-the-scenes look at the film's production and adds layers of context to the story, enriching the viewing experience. It's a rare treat to see such a thoughtful companion piece, one that deepens our appreciation for Ford's vision. The film's portrayal of Native American characters, while not without its flaws, is handled with a level of respect and humanity that was uncommon for its time. The Cheyenne are not mere stereotypes, but individuals with hopes, fears, and a deep connection to their heritage. This is particularly evident in the scene where the tribe gathers around the campfire, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames, sharing stories of their ancestors. Cheyenne Autumn is a film that lingers in the mind long after the credits roll. It's a reminder of the power of cinema to transport us to another time and place, to make us feel the weight of history, and to appreciate the artistry of those who brought it to life. In every frame, every note of music, and every line of dialogue, there's a sense of nostalgia for a bygone era, but also a profound respect for the stories that continue to shape us. In the annals of cinematic history, Cheyenne Autumn holds a special place, not just as a film, but as a cultural touchstone that continues to resonate. Released in 1964, it arrived at a time when America was grappling with its own identity and the complexities of its past. John Ford's epic portrayal of the Cheyenne's journey to reclaim their ancestral lands wasn't just a story of the West, it was a mirror, reflecting the struggles of marginalized voices everywhere. The film's sympathetic portrayal of Captain Thomas Archer, played with depth by Richard Widmark, offered a nuanced view of the cavalry officer, a figure often romanticized in Westerns. This humanization of both the Cheyenne and the soldiers set a precedent for more empathetic storytelling in the genre. One cannot discuss Cheyenne Autumn without mentioning the indelible presence of George O., whose final film role here serves as a poignant farewell to a bygone era of Hollywood. His performance, though brief, adds a layer of gravitas to the narrative. The film's depiction of Chief Morning Star, also known by his Lakota Sioux name Dull Knife, brought a historical figure to life with dignity and respect, honoring the resilience of indigenous leaders. Scenes like the Cheyennes' determined march across the plains or their tense negotiations with the government officials remain etched in the memory, not just for their visual grandeur but for their emotional weight. Cheyenne Autumn challenged audiences to reconsider the narratives they had been told about the American West, paving the way for more authentic and inclusive stories. Its influence can be seen in later films that sought to tell indigenous stories with the same care and respect. Decades later, the film's legacy endures, a testament to Ford's vision and the power of cinema to spark conversation and change. It's a reminder of how art can bridge divides and illuminate the shared humanity that binds us all. In the twilight of his career, John Ford delivered Cheyenne Autumn, a film that, while not as widely celebrated as some of his earlier works, stands as a poignant and deeply human reflection on the American West. It's a story of resilience, dignity, and the unyielding spirit of a people fighting for their homeland, inspired by the true events of the Cheyenne Autumn Trail led by Chief Little Wolf in 1878. Richard Widmark, whose dedication to the project began years earlier with meticulous research at Yale, brings a quiet strength to his role as the sympathetic cavalry officer torn between duty and compassion. Ford's decision to cast Navajo actors speaking their own language adds an authenticity that transcends the typical Western, even if it means the Cheyenne are portrayed by another tribe. Moments like the solemn march across the plains, the tense standoff with the cavalry, and the quiet exchanges between Widmark and the tribal leaders linger in the memory, a testament to Ford's mastery of visual storytelling. While the film may not have the same cultural ubiquity as The Searchers or Stagecoach, it's a work of quiet power, a late-career gem that deserves to be rediscovered. It's a reminder of Ford's ability to humanize history, to find the personal within the epic. For fans of Westerns or anyone seeking a thoughtful exploration of America's past, Cheyenne Autumn is essential viewing. It's a film that doesn't just entertain, it educates, it moves, and it endures.